Hi and welcome. The following is a demonstration of how to do a triple twist dropper loop. I saw this years ago on YouTube, and the one gentleman did a good job of making a dropper loop that is 90+% of line strength, which is incredible. I usually use fluorocarbon. That's the fluorocarbon that I like to use. It's the Seagar STS Salmon. I think it's reasonable for a spool, and it works really well for my purposes. But I'm going to use Trilene Big Game 60-pound test to show you how to do this. So the first thing on a dropper loop is it helps if you have a board with, I put screws here and then heat shrink tubing on them. And then what you do in order to do the dropper loop is whatever your line is, whatever your loop you're going to make at the top. I actually use this loop for the top loop and the dropper. And so what happens is, I'll show it to you in the way I do it. This is the first loop. So you take and pull out a good amount of line, all right? Then what you do is, this is doubled over. Down here, you grab and you pinch this over and make it almost like it's crossed here, okay? So it's crossed, and then what you're going to do is twist it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then reach with your fingers in between there, pinch that loop, and pull it through until it starts to cinch down. If it's twisted up, it should cinch down really nicely. If it's twisted up, it's going to be like this. In order to cinch down nicely, then what you do is have your little cup of water here, put it in the water, take your nice tool here to help pull, hold on to this end and pull. And now this loop is my starting loop. Okay, so then I measure out how much I want in line, and then I want to make a dropper loop. So what I'm going to do with the dropper loop is I'm going to take this longer section here and go make it a much longer loop. I'm going to come back down here, again, twist it over to make that cross, all right? But make sure you start a ways away. And then 1, 2, 3, and then reach through and grab this loop, pull it through, all right? Now, and you're trying to pull it with the other finger so that you can get it to look down almost like a big figure 8 coming down. And this is actually a spider hitch knot, but it's a 3-turn spider hitch knot. So it's specialized. That's why I call it a triple twist instead of a spider knot and a spider hitch. So then you pull, and now you've got your loop. Now, for the final loop, I would put I usually do a surgeon's loop in order to put in where I put the sinker. The thing that I'll say about this dropper loop is it's only really good for a single dropper. From the end to end, it's about 90%. But if you go further than this, and when you make your next loop and you want to put a lure on that, it's going to drop to about half the line strength or less. But from here, from your main loop to the main line that you clip onto your main line, that's going to be like 90. Sometimes I reaches the testing I've done over 100% of the rated line strength. And there you have it. So then you can put whatever you want on this loop. If you're going to put a hook and things like that, there's ways to do this. That you can do it, and I will at one point show you some rigs. But this is a dropper loop that's 90+%, and I hope you have a good time using it.